Thanks for having me tonight. It's a pleasure to be here. If I haven't had the pleasure to meet you, my name is Wes Smith. My wife and I reside here in Xenia. We've been married 34 years. We've raised 3 Christian daughters who've attended Miami University, Indiana Wesleyan, and most recently Cedarville University. And we call Xenia our home since 1998. And we moved here because we attended church in Xenia, and we wanted to just make Xenia a great place. Our daughter was born with a disability. She was born with spina bifida. We didn't really want her at the time to go to a high school. We lived in Huber Heights. We brought her to Xenia, and it was the best decision that we ever made. And because I moved to Xenia, I also moved my business here. So I've been a business owner for over 30 years. Before that, I graduated high school in 1983 from Dixie High School. It did take me 13 years, but I completed my associate degree at Sinclair Community College. Also, while I was working, I was a restaurant manager for McDonald's Corporation at age 22. So at age 22, I had the responsibility of running a restaurant and supervising over 80 high school students and adults with a business that did over $1 million. So I've always taken my jobs very responsible, and I don't take for granted what God's given me. So after I left restaurant management, I pursued my degree, and I started a degree in business. I completed that in 1996, and I started my full-time company in 1998. But between 1996 and 1998, I worked third shift for the United States Postal Service. So that allowed my wife and I to have the income so we could put that money towards my education, and I'm very thankful for that. So in 1998, I started my business full-time. So by being a business owner and having employees, I know what it's like to sign the front of paychecks. And it turns you into very fiscal conservative because you have to forecast. Maybe business is great at this time, but you have to build that relationship because you have to know that you have to meet payroll maybe 3 months from now or 6 months from now. So you have to have that consciousness, and you have to be very frugal with spending. So what the worst thing that happened with my business was in 2020 when we had COVID. We had to shut down for 6 months. I had to lay people off. It's not something I'm proud of, but something I had to do. It turned my company around because we actually focused on efficiency. And that efficiency is very important, and I take that efficiency to the level that I represent Xenia. For 16 years, I've been on Xenia City Council. I've worked very diligently to help Xenia have the lowest tax rate in our county. And you can see that Xenia is on an economic rebound. We have basically a lot of investment in infrastructure with our market district. And that's what brought me to this decision to run for county commission. About 2 years ago, somebody said, "Hey Wes, Xenia, you guys are doing great. You guys are booming. I'd like to see the county do that at the same level." And I'm like, you know what, maybe I can work it out. So I have family members that are taking over the responsibility of my company, and it's allowed me to actually get out in the community full time, talking with people, making relationships, and campaigning very hard. And you can see from my campaign, I take this commission race very serious. I'm campaigning very hard because I'll work very hard as a commissioner. I won't just attend meetings. I'll be out in the community meeting people and actually advocating for Greene County and our needs, because what I'm hearing from a lot of people is property tax. We got to do something with that. So, that's top of mind, but also we have to be conscious of quality of life for our residents. And, I think it's just kind of sad that we had to lose Greenwood Manor as an example. The county basically needs to work for the citizens. It's that level of government between municipal government and state government where your commissioners have to advocate for the citizens. That's their job, and that's something that I'll take very seriously. In closing, what I'd like to say at the end of the day, this race is really about trust. And local government works great when people feel their voices are heard and that their money is respected. And I've always tried to be accessible as a council member. as your council president by answering calls, meeting with residents, and staying connected to the community. So as your county commissioner on May 5th, if you would vote for me, I'll bring that same level of enthusiasm to the county level that I represent Xenia. Thank you very much.